What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is Kim, and this is Kimchi's Art Pop Tarot. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm really excited for this reading. I feel like I say this for every video, but that's the whole point, right? So for today's pick a card reading, we're gonna find out if you were a celebrity, what type of celebrity would you be? And we're also gonna find out like what would be kind of like your job. We would also find out what kinds of things you would be asked during interviews, like what would you be most asked about, because we all know how that goes for the celebrity life, right? So and then the last thing we're gonna find out is what kind of scandals are you gonna find yourself in. Like, we're gonna get the tea today, y'all. Like it's exciting stuff. So today I'm showing you guys what we're going to be working with. We're going to be using the archetype cards to find out like right away what kind of person what kind of celebrity you're going to be. So it's going to give us some insight, and if it's not clear enough, I'll pull more cards from here until it's clear. And based on what I get on this card, I'm gonna either pull one card from my fashion oracle or my art oracles, which are really good at really breaking down what kind of celebrity you would be. I wish I had more variety, but this is all I have for now. In the future, I would like to make my own like celebrity oracle. I don't know, I'm thinking of calling it like queens and divas for the female version, and kings and princes for for the male version. I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about because I really do um like looking into celebrities and stuff. But that's something that's gonna come later on. And but for today's pick a card, we're just gonna settle for what we got right now. For our tarot, we're gonna be using Ethereal Visions Tarot. And this is just gonna help us find out like what kind of person you're gonna be like, and like what kind of stuff they're gonna ask you. We're also gonna be using my fashionista oracle. I've been using this a lot. I'm surprised. I didn't think I would use it this much. Um, to find out a little bit more about your career, what are you like, and just general messages about your life as a celebrity. So this is just mostly to add on to the reading. And lastly, we're going to be using the tarot of, sorry, let me open this box. If you would open the tarot sexual magic, to find out what kind of scandals you're going to find yourself in as a celebrity. By the way, I made this box for for this tarot specifically because the box was falling apart. So yeah, so this is what we're going to be working with, and I will see you when you pick your pile. All right. Hello, everybody. So these are the piles for today. We're only going to have 4 piles. For the first one, we're going to have these glasses, these shades. Pile number 2 is going to be this little easel thingy, I guess. And for pile number 3, we're going to have this like bobblehead pen, really cute. And for pile number 4, we're going to have this like a boss card that I made myself. So feel free to pick a card that you or a pile, sorry, that you feel most drawn to. You're more than welcome to pick more than one if you choose to, or all of them if you want to. So just a quick little disclaimer as always. These pick a card readings are for entertainment purposes only. For any applicable messages, go see a professional if you feel like you need to for any reason. I want each and every one of you to be safe and healthy, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So it's just always my loving reminder to take care of yourselves and never allow these big card readings to affect your mental health in any way. Okay, my loves? So with all that being said, I hope you enjoy this pick a card reading, and I'll see you in your pile. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So for today's pick a card reading, we're gonna find out what kind of celebrity you would be. What kind of life would you lead? What would you be known for? Just cool stuff like that. We're also gonna find out what kind of questions you would be asked during interviews. You would find We're gonna find out what kind of scandals you're gonna be involved in. And we also have a secret card here where we're gonna find out if you're gonna be like a long lasting iconic celebrity. So let's dig into this reading and find out your tea, okay? All right. So if you pick pile one, you might have been attracted to the shades right here, these shades. Um, I get the feeling that like you could be somebody who's shady in a way. I don't know. Like I feel like you kind of hide a lot behind your shades. You're somebody that can't be bothered by the sun or people. Um, like you just kind of have like this air of diva about you. And I think it's cool that like this comes up because you guys actually got femme fatale. And when I pulled this card, I pulled like my gut instinct just told me, you know what, fashion oracles it is. And I got Tom Ford. And an interesting thing about Tom Ford is that he says good girls dress well but bad girls undress better. So already I'm getting the feeling that you're gonna be some sort of sex icon. Like, does this mean porn star? Maybe, but we're gonna find out. So I already, just from these two cards alone, you are a bit of a femme fatale. You are somebody who is like, you're just like sexy, fabulous. You know how to pose. You own your feminine power. So I'm getting very, um, a lot of feminine vibes. I'm getting a lot of like, this is a woman who I'm talking about. And if you're not a woman, don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter. Um, it's not gender specific, but at the very least, I do get the feeling that this is very womanly. This is very feminine vibes. This is somebody who has learned to use their feminine power to control or manipulate others to their advantage. Which, in the celebrity world, this is very common. So I'm not really that shocked that this comes up. Let's see. So for this row right here, we're gonna find out a little bit like what kind of person you are and what kind of things you are gonna be known for. So for your cards, you got Four of Cups in reversed, King of Cups upright, Three of Cups in reverse. There's a lot of Cups energy here. So I get the feeling that you could be a water sign. You could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You also got this card, Happiness Blooms Within. You got the layer card, and you got boots and dresses. Okay, cool stuff. With these cards being here, particularly this one, I don't know if guys can see the way she's posed and the way this person is holding the card. The picture. I get the feeling that you're probably an influencer. You're somewhere along the middle of being kind of like a high what's it called, high fashion model. I forget the exact term, but you know what I mean. It's just like a model is, like a model, but then there's also like influencer models, if that makes sense. Like, so this kind of gives me very like Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner vibes right here. Like on the one hand, you're very known in the celebrity world. You're very fashionable. Like, you know how to dress, you know how to pose, like for the camera. And then like, I make this kind of like a bit of like a Polaroid-esque type of image here. So I think this gives me the feeling that you like to pose a lot for the camera. So I am getting a lot of like model vibes here. And the same thing here, the way she's posed like on the bed and stuff. And the way she rocks this dress, it's almost like, this really giving me like model vibes, and also very like influencer vibes. So you're probably known for that. With Four of Cups being here, I think you're somebody who's really impatient. Like, you're a diva. Like you're definitely a diva, and that's what you're known for. You're known for being a diva. You won't accept certain things. You're really impatient. If this was upright, this would be kind of like the card of meditating, being kind of gracious and patient for some of you guys. But this is upside down. This is telling me that you're really impatient. Um, you could have certain issues, like unresolved issues, or you might have some like dependency issues. With this King of Cups here, I get the feeling that, like, with, how I was talking about dependency issues, I feel like you largely depend on, I'm gonna say it, a man. Like, like this could be like a really rich daddy. And I could mean this in different ways, y'all. Like daddy or daddy. So this could be your daddy, like this could be your rich dad who kind of helped you kickstart your career, and this is what you're known for too. This is giving me some real Kim Kardashian vibes here, you guys. I'm not even kidding. Um, and even if this is not like your dad or quote unquote daddy, but this is also like your husband. Like you have a rich husband, and like this rich husband of yours is well respected. Like he's a king of cups. So again, I'm getting the feeling that like this man that you depend on is like a big source of your finances, or he had a big part in kickstarting your own success. And also with like Tom Ford being here between these ladies, like I do get the sense that you have a very strong like man or masculine energy by you that like really pushes your career and stuff. So like that's interesting. But at the same time, I do feel that this is what you're gonna be known for a lot, and it is what it is. Like I just feel like that is just so common in the celebrity world. With Three of Cups being in reverse, I just get a lot of bitchy vibes here, like because Three of Cups are right is usually about like celebration, spending time with friends. You're somebody that like it's almost like not that you hate your fans, it's just kind of like I don't know if you guys ever remember hearing about this incident with Kylie Jenner where she had like an autograph session or something, some sort of session that like people paid to go. Like people actually paid for this stuff, like a lot of money to actually go meet her, greet her, see her. And she got there super late. People were like getting sunburned. They didn't have any water. I don't know. It was a mess. And when she finally arrived, she just giving all this attitude and sass and like didn't even really care. She a diva, and and of course no like shade thrown at Kylie. It's not really about throwing shade at her. It just really makes me think that you kind of have this like I don't care attitude. Like I'm not here to celebrate with you. Like with happiness blooms from within. I know this sounds really positive, like a really sweet thing, but in this case I'm getting it like with femme fatale. Sorry if I'm going all over the place. I'm getting so many messages at once. With femme fatale and happiness blooms within, it really makes you think like you're fine on how do I say it, with your own personality. Like you don't care if people think you're a diva, like because that like this industry is brutal and people are always going to talk about you, so you kind of do things on your own. You don't really fuck with anybody or you try not to fuck with anybody. It's more like the world wants to fuck with you, if that makes sense. So I do feel like you kind of mind your own business. On the other hand, this also gives you the sense that you're surrounded by really bad company at times. So this is kind of like a warning that like, well, if you were a celebrity, this will be kind of like a warning that the group of people around you are kind of toxic, you know? So this is really interesting. Very interesting so far. And then we're gonna go down here to, what kind of questions you'll be asked and what kind of scandals you would find yourself in. So for your cards, you got the Hierophant, Eight of Wands, the Magician upside down or reverse. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. For your scandals, you got the Moon upright, Three of Swords reversed, Two of Swords upright, and Death. Ooh, girl. So with the Hierophant being here, um, I get the feeling that like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. You guys are gonna get asked a lot about your love life and your marriage. And why do I say this? I say this because the Hierophant is a lot about um seeking advice from official institutions, blah blah blah. So this isn't necessarily about seeking advice. It's just when I say official institution, it could be anything. It could be a legal thing. It could be church, religion, um, psychiatry. Sorry, seeing a psychiatrist, seeing a professional, basically. So with this here, I do get a small sense that people are gonna ask you a lot about your career, but I don't really get that. I get the feeling that they're gonna be asking you a lot about like, so when are you gonna get married? Like you probably like maybe you're a celebrity who's with this rich man or whatever, but you guys haven't tied the knot and people just want to know the tea, or they're gonna ask you a lot about your marriage. Like, how is it like living with this person? How is it like living with the Tom Ford of your life? Like just whoever you're married to. Because you know what I said earlier, that this man has like, he has a lot of influence in the industry and he's very respected. So everybody just wants to know the tea. They want to know what he's like. And especially if your King of Cups is like a Scorpio, like like a mysterious kind of sign. People want to know all the tea. They want to know what he's like. And, they want to know, like, oh my God, how soon are you guys going to get married? Blah, 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 blah. For some of you guys, you are actually going to get asked about your travel plans. Like, what are your future plans about marriage? But I mostly see it like, they're definitely, people are really going to rush in to ask you questions about your love life. And I think this is going to piss you off sometimes because I feel like with the Magician, you feel like you can provide more, you can do a lot more, like there is more to you than just your love life, but yeah, like you feel like you can't really do anything about it. I also do get the sense that you might be a little bit careless, so it tends to backfire on you sometimes. On the other hand, this could also represent like in a celebrity context, like you might play your cards well and start scandals to like keep your career up. Damn, these are some major diva vibes here. Like, like you're really into, what are they called? Like PR stunts or something like that. So, you're gonna get asked a lot about your scandals. And, this is where we're getting to right now. So what kind of scandals are you going to be involved in? So you guys definitely got a lot of sex scandals. With these two being here, I feel like there's some shady shit you might do on this side, or just some stuff that you don't want people to see, but it's gonna come out. You guys, I'm not making this up. So I'll explain what I mean. So on here with the moon, you see how there's like all these people together doing, stuff or whatever? Stuff. I feel like you might, oh my God, Kim K, Kim Kardashian vibes. You might actually film like a sex tape or something. And then like, somebody, let me turn this up right. Somebody's gonna see like one of these like shady people. You find yourself like, see how this person is kind of like moving her leg to kind of spread, to make it visible so this lady can see, so it's like this group of toxic people are kind of gonna use you when you're most vulnerable to start like a scandal of you doing like a sex tape or something. Oh my god, you guys, I'm so sorry. I think another scandal. Oh, I wouldn't really call this a scandal, but I think you're gonna be known for dating, being a serial dater or a cheater because you're with this man here, but you're like a serial cheater, or you tend to flirt a lot with other men in front of your man, or while he's not looking, because the moon is about being shady, or that's another thing. You know, it's like they're gonna catch you being with this man and they're gonna release this tape of, whoops, look at that fool over there. Like somebody's gonna release a tape of you being with this man when you're not supposed to be. And I think with death being in reverse, it's gonna cause a lot of problems in your career. It's gonna cause a lot of stagnation, because people just seem to always be calling you out, always be like on your shit. This kind of also gives me like Cardi B vibes. Like, not that she's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know as much about Cardi B in her sex life, but like, you ever notice how like she always gets called out for everything? Like she's always having some sort of thing she has to like apologize for, which she never really does, by the way. And that is so you. You don't apologize for anything. You're like, fuck that. Like, I'm not apologizing. But anyway, but yeah, that's like something that just happens all the time. She always gets like some weird scandal. She's always dealing with some like hate or whatever. And, like, it's like, I feel like she's kind of like at a point where she's trying to move forward with her career, but things are either catching up to her, or she said something that's, questionable or kind of stupid. Like people like keep calling her out for it. I don't know. It's insane. Cardi B is like on a whole other level. But you know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. You're like the Kim K slash Cardi B, but I feel like Cardi B is more of like a singer, rapper, whatever. So I don't really get this being like you're a singer. This is more definitely like model influencer type that's very secured by her rich man or whatever. The tea, you guys. This kind of funny, not gonna lie. Um, you got an interesting life though. I mean, you know. Okay, so for our last question, we're gonna find out if if you're gonna be like an iconic artist, for the end of your life. So we're gonna flip this card and we're gonna find out the truth. Ooh, you guys. Oh, this is so sad. Let me zoom in. You guys got the 5 of Cups. Oh, shit. Okay, so here's what I can tell you guys. I think you guys see this kind of like tower being up here, this like building. I think this is kind of like symbolic of your legacy. So yes, your legacy will live on. I think you will be remembered, but for the wrong reasons. I think like, I don't mean to laugh, but like it's just so ironic how all this whole thing played out. I think you're gonna be kind of miserable throughout the rest of your life. Like when your fame has died down and you're like not really in the spotlight anymore, you might fall into some bad habits. You might cry over the spilled milk. You might have a lot of regrets, a lot of problems. And people will still remember you, but not for the things you want to be remembered. And that's what I think is like so sad about it. But at the same time, it's one of those things like you reap what you sow. But at the same time, I do get the feeling that you are gonna be secure in your home, your legacy. So I don't get the feeling that like you're gonna be broke or anything like that. Like if this was 5 of Pentacles, I would think something like, oh, you're gonna be like out in the streets. No, I'm just kidding. or you're gonna lose a lot of your money for some reason. No, I do feel like you're gonna be pretty secure for the rest of your life. Like you're not gonna face any sort of hardship. But I do feel like in the public eye, you're not really well received. All right, so this was your reading pile number one. I hope this all made sense. I thought this was kind of fun, actually. I mean, who knows? Maybe this could be your reality or something, but I don't know. I wouldn't want this sort of reality for anybody unless, they choose to. But, the celebrity world is very brutal. But yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing this. So let me know if you guys want to see more readings like this, like, just for the shits and giggles. All right. Bye bye. Welcome to your reading pile number two. If you pick this little tiny easel thingy, this is your reading. Um, I don't like that by itself. Maybe you should put something on here. Let's put the secret card on here. That's funny. Okay, so we're gonna put the secret card here. Okay, so for today's pick a pile reading, we're gonna be talking about if you were a celebrity, what kind of celebrity would you be? Also, I want to apologize for this lighting. Like, I'm always apologizing for the lighting, but I didn't want like the glare to go on the rest of the car, so I just kind of focused it on here. But I'll show you guys what this looks like, and I'll definitely explain what each card means. But for now, I'm just gonna go over what we're gonna find out in this reading. So we're gonna find out what kind of celebrity you're gonna be, or famous person in general. And then in the middle section, we're gonna find out like what kind of person you are and what you're known for. And in the bottom, we're gonna find out what kind of questions you get asked during interviews. And then on the other part, we're gonna find out what kind of scandals you're gonna be involved in. Okay. So with that being said, for your first three cards, you got Trickster, Vampire, and Pablo Picasso. Oh, and I just forgot to mention, guys. So this secret card right here that I just put on the little easel, it's gonna let us know if your legacy as an artist or celebrity, whatever, is gonna live on through like the generations and stuff. Like if you're gonna be remembered, So it's gonna be a fun reading. So right off the bat, you guys got Trickster, Vampire, and Pablo Picasso. You know what's interesting for you guys? When I first got Trickster, this was the very first card I got, and I'm just like, I feel like I need a clarification, but this is giving me some like painter vibes or like artist vibes, you know? So I was like, I'll just see what I get. And then that's when we got like Vampire. And what's interesting, this is kind of sad but interesting, but I've always found that artists tend to be some of the most toxic people, like toxic personalities that you'll find. Like their work is amazing. They'll have like amazing works of art. And, we have artists like Pablo Picasso whose art like lives on to this day. And this man in particular, he's well known. He always gets talked about in like art history books. I should know because I took art history. It just kind of, his legacy just has lived on to this day, and his art style has lived on to this day. um but I have read that he wasn't the most healthy, mentally healthy person to be around. He was kind of an asshole, as are many artists like him. And it's interesting, and I'm a huge believer that, we're all human, and our environment is going to affect how we treat others, how we treat ourselves. So I can understand why so many of like well-known artists are problematic nowadays. But at the same time, I understand that those were times those were different times, different values, different, uh, just different people, and different like pressures on these people. So it is interesting to see like how this toxicity kind of plays out, for some of these artists, even though they're like amazing. Not that it's interesting, it's just kind of like it just makes the person a lot more complex than what we first realized, and disappointing sometimes. And this is kind of what I've been getting from this pile in particular. Like this pile didn't give me like ooh, drama, diva stuff, celebrity stuff, like what we see in the news or our apps or whatever. No, this gives me a very like just a particular individual that's trying to make art, if that makes sense. And celebrity world and art world are very, very different worlds, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, with all of that out of the way, I do get the feeling that like whatever it is that you're doing, like you're really good at what you do. You're really good at changing things up, at throwing people off with trickster. So I think a lot of people are like mesmerized by you. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly you are, but I am getting an artist. And especially with this card being here. I know we're not here yet, but you actually got the artist. So already I'm kind of seeing like this is probably an artist of some kind. And with vampire being here, I do get the feeling that like I just gonna throw this out there. I feel like you're just like a really handsome, and I'm getting like very masculine man vibes here. So if I say man a lot, like I'm sorry. But whatever you are, like I do feel like you're very like handsome or beautiful. Like a lot of people are just like stoked by you. Like they think you're very like intriguing, mesmerizing. Like you could be very mysterious with this. I don't know if you guys can see. He's wearing she or he. They're wearing the cloak. They're wearing a cloak. They're wearing gloves. It just gives me like an air of mystery. Magicians are very mysterious people. Vampires are mysterious like creatures, like they reside in the dark. So I think you are like an artist who kind of resides in the dark a little bit. Not everything is known about you, but you're really good at throwing people off. And you're somehow really good at staying in the public eye, the eyes here, without giving everything away. This kind of gives me like the weekend. Like, if you think about the weekend, I mean, I feel like nowadays we know a little bit more about him, but if you really think about him, his career kind of thrives, has been thriving for a while. And notice how he hasn't had to like really reveal too much about himself compared to any of like the newer celebrities nowadays, like newer singers, rappers, whatever. Like they constantly have to be on Instagram live showing like themselves to kind of stay not relevant, sorry, relatable. But at the cost of all that, you have to kind of give out your life. Well, you're not this person. You are somebody who is mysterious, and this is what's intriguing about you. Does that make sense? And I'm not trying to shade any other celebrities in any way. It's just kind of like trying to set the contrast here, compare and contrast, and I'm a little bit biased because I love The Weeknd, so so take that for whatever it means to you. um so yeah, so I think for some of you, I am getting very like artist, but I am also getting a bit of like an actor or actress. So we're gonna find out which one it is. If anything, it could be both, but we'll see. So for your cards, you got the artist. And like I said before, this could be about you being an actual painter, like a really like an innovative painter. With Queen of Wands, again, we see something about creativity. Like you are you're like an expert in your field, and it's so hard for me to determine what it really is. Like I know they're supposed to be like, what kind of celebrity are you? But this pile is so mysterious, okay, you guys? Like I'm trying to figure out what this person is. But yeah, I do see a Queen of Wands, and Queen of Wands is somebody who is, she's very sexy, she's very fabulous, she's creative, she's innovative. So I am getting now kind of leaning towards like actor actress. um yeah, I'm kind of leaning more towards actor and actress. I don't see this about being like a model or anything like that. I don't really feel like artists, like painters and stuff, don't get this particular kind of um attention, let's call it. I just feel like there is something here I'm getting a lot about the public eye, like really has their eye on you. And I don't feel like you're a model, because models tend to kind of, I don't want to diss anybody's career, but you know, they're just kind of there to look pretty and, you know, look good posing at the camera. So there's not as much engagement, if you know what I mean. Like I don't know if this is making sense. So that's why I feel like this is kind of like an actor or an actress almost. And then with the cat being here, I see somebody that's very intuitive, feminine. So, hmm. So this could be like the perfect blend between being masculine and feminine, and I think that's what throws everybody off with the trickster. Like it's not that you're even maybe you're not even trying to like trick people. It's just this is how you are. You're somebody who's very different, and people can't really put a finger on it. Like you don't really conform to being feminine, but you don't really conform to being masculine either. So whoever this might even be like non-binary, or maybe they're so good at like being feminine one moment and then being masculine next. Kind of like a little bit like Zendaya. I feel like Zendaya has this quite a bit. Like she tends to dress very femininely, but she has a very cool, kind of mature, boyish attitude. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't like saying it like that. So I hope this is kind of making sense. I'm just throwing examples out there. With Knight of Cups here, um, this gives me a feeling of like, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like a, I don't want to say fuckboy energy. It's almost like a romantic. You know what I feel like? I feel like you use kind of like a romantic streak of yours. Like you bring it out once in a while, like during speeches or like interviews, um, to kind of like get especially women to like fall for you. You know what? Like I'm starting to think kind of like Ruby Rose. Yeah, there's like some Ruby Rose um thing going on here. It's like because like Ruby Rose has like such a feminine name, but like, you know, she will turn a straight woman gay. Like you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it's interesting. There's something so like alluring about you, and I think this is one of the few times where you like reveal like a side that people didn't see without actually revealing everything. Does that make sense? So this is like interesting so far. Like this is very interesting. And also with Pablo Picasso being here, it says choose to have as many styles as you do lovers. So I feel like you're somebody who changes like constantly, like what it is that you're doing, so that people are always kind of like on their toes, wondering what you're doing. And then you I might also have a lot of like lovers. Another example I'm kind of thinking about is Leonardo DiCaprio. Like back in his younger days, a lot of his interviews kind of talked about like, oh, how he would like treat his girlfriend and stuff, and it was always some like cute romantic shit, right? And of course everybody would just be like head over heels for this man. I mean, I know I was, but anyway. So it's and I think Leo is a Scorpio actually, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm getting some major Scorpio vibes here, you guys. Like, and see, this is all actors coming to my head. I do feel like this is kind of like an actor of some sort. And then we like routines being here. And like all the makeup stuff here or skincare stuff. I feel like I feel like you're known for your looks a lot. Like, like you're really good at what you do, but you also have like this very flawless look to you. You have this amazing skincare routine, and this is probably what you get asked a lot about. Possibly we'll find out, but you might get asked a lot like, what do you do? Like, how do you like? What's your skincare routine? Like, what do you do to have such a flawless face? Or maybe you're somebody like you're the kind of celebrity that like kind of like J Lo. See, like J Lo, kind of like J Lo. Like she looks like she's 50, but she looks amazing. Or like Halle Berry. Like I don't know, just like celebrities that like even like though they age, they don't even like look a day over like 30 or younger. And it's like a lot of people are like gonna know you because of this. Like, oh, it's that guy, that girl who's like like flawless, like you can't see pores or whatever, or they're just flawless, or they have like a gorgeous like facial structure. I don't know, just something. It's very, very interesting. Roots, bold, I think. And this reminds me so much of Ruby Rose, you guys. Like, I'm not even kidding. Um, yeah, I feel like you're just really cool celebrity. I don't know. You're just that celebrity that's so low key, minds their own business. And I feel like it's so hard to catch them in a scandal. And even if they do get caught in some sort of scandal, they don't give a fuck. Like they mind their own business. It's like they're too cool to care about what people are saying about them. And it also kind of takes me back to this. I think this person, this pile in particular, so this celebrity is very like, they're very close to their roots. I think they're very close to family. And roots could also mean like who started with them at the beginning of their career. So I feel like whoever manages you, like they stay your managers forever because they've trusted you and you've trusted them for like the longest time. This kind of also gives me the vibes of like Billie Eilish, like Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas, like they're like really close and they're very close to family. And honestly, like Billie Eilish just give me like these kinds of vibes right here. Not so much a whole lovers thing or being cutesy, but I feel like, for example, her being like quirky, but not trying too hard, just her being herself. And then people like get to see like a different side of her. And like even when she goes live on Instagram, like you always see something different from her. It's never the same thing. And I think that's what a lot of people like about her, that she's so quirky and different, but she doesn't seem to be trying. So yeah, so that was just like another example. So I feel like, to sum up what you'll be known for, I think yes, you will be known for your talent. Like I'm not saying at all that like you're just like a pretty face that like gets looked at and remembered. I think you will be known for your talent. And you will be known like to to kind of like how did I say earlier, like kind of surprise people. If you're like a male actor, you'll have like a lot of women around you. You're a very creative person. You're known to be like beautiful, like out of this world beautiful. And you're also known for being just freaking pretty freaking cool. Like like nobody can touch you kind of vibe. So that's that. And as for what kind of questions you'll get asked, I got Temperance in reverse, Eight of Cups in reverse, and Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I feel like if this was you, like a celebrity, like I feel like you try to stay away from the spotlight with this Eight of Cups being reversed. Being, I think this means kind of like isolation, a bit of depression. I do feel like you would be the kind of celebrity who like I don't want to say like the starving artist, that's not the word I'm looking for. Just kind of like you're kind of like a very artsy type of actor or actress, and you kind of tend to keep to yourself a lot. So you try to avoid like the spotlight as much as possible, or you tend to go into kind of like these depressive states, or if the press follows you around, you kind of like look the other way, like you're not trying to like talk to anybody. I feel like with Temperance in reverse, I get the feeling you're gonna be kind of frustrated because people are always trying to compare you to somebody else, and you're not about it. Like you just don't want to talk about like being compared to somebody else. Um, you know what I mean? Or you want to kind of be known for your own style, um your own work. You don't want to be compared to anybody else. This kind of gives me like, it makes me think of like Prince. He hated when like people did covers of his music, you know. So yeah, this is giving me a tiny bit of diva vibes. This part here with the interview, like what kind of things you'll be asked. I just feel like no matter what question people ask you, unless it's something that actually interests you, you're gonna be kind of like, ugh, like really, you're really asking me that question, you know? And and they have no choice but to like accept it because you're a badass, and like they shouldn't be disrespecting you that way. So that's where I see a little bit of like diva vibes here. But you're not a diva, you just kind of like know your worth, and you're much more worth than like people asking about your lovers, people asking about like you having a feud with some other celebrity. You're like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I don't know who this bitch is. Like, well, maybe not like that. But you don't know who this person is. This also makes you think of like Mariah Carey whenever she's like like who is that? Like, I don't even know her. It's funny. But yeah, that is very like diva-esque over there. So that was just another example. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Again, this just makes me think like whenever like paparazzi approaches you, you usually don't want to deal with them, and sometimes it can get you in trouble. Like sometimes your manager might be like, hey, you need to be a little bit more friendly or something like that, with like the paparazzi and stuff, but you just don't want to like entertain it. And I feel like going back to the beginning about the toxicity, um like I feel like you might also have your demons that you're dealing with. And I think with this being here, like the chaos and the depression, um like I feel like you have some like unresolved issues, like you would have some unresolved issues. I think also like with the Queen of Wands here, because Queen of Wands is about being sexy and stuff. Like I feel like like you might be into like older women or older people in general, like people that are way out of your league, way out of like your age range, and it doesn't always look good. So like, or it could even be like, I don't know, just something that just doesn't really fit the norm here. I don't know, I'm just getting some weird shady stuff happening. So that might cause a lot of problems in your life because I mean karma is all about like paying back a debt. So like, at least from what I've kind of learned a little bit. So yeah, so I think you have some like baggage of course, that you're dealing with while you're like a celebrity. Okay. Now with some scandals that you would deal with, so like you got strength in reverse, ace of wands in reverse, temperance, and six of cups. I feel like with temperance, well, first of all, you got another temperance, but this one's upright. And then with ace of wands in reverse, I feel like you're kind of like a promiscuous person. Like no matter how you look to the public, even if you're a badass, you're kind of a fuck boy or a fuck girl. You might be like a serial dater, but never really truly commit. You might be on and off with like a certain person quite a bit. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's a scandal, but I just feel like it's an ongoing issue in your life as a celebrity, in your personal life, and people always want to know the tea. Like like when I see the strength in reverse, like here's a card, and then in reverse, I just kind of see it as you trying to fight your demons, but just not being able to. Like you just always struggling, and you just kind of like take it out on your lovers. And I also see kind of like you dealing with some legal issues because of these lovers. I especially see something like with six of cups here. Like one of your past lovers is gonna like start some shit. She's gonna have some evidence here and here to kind of like bring you to court and be like, this guy did this to me, blah 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 blah. And even if it's not that, it just could be some sort of like situation that has to be dealt in court because of your behavior or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, so I wouldn't say that you have like many scandals. You're more like gonna have one big one that's gonna really define your career or or how you are as a person. Okay. So I hope this all made sense. Very interesting pile. It's very different energy. So we're gonna pull one more card and we're gonna find out if your legacy is gonna live on. Oh wow. So with the nine of swords here, let me zoom in, you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that. So with the nine of swords here, I see your legacy is gonna live on. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I feel like yes, because it's upright. I'm gonna even go that far. Like it's upright, so yes. I just feel like um this court case that you're like dealing with or something is gonna, well, it's like the karma is paying back. Like you're paying back for your karma or something. And it is gonna take a toll on your career. Like you might lose the court case and it might tarnish your name. And the public is gonna remember you for that, or like for some time the public will remember you for that until it dies down or something like that. Because I think nine of swords, I see it as like it doesn't really last forever. But for a little bit of time, it might be a while before you can even like come out into the public. And I feel like your mental health is really going to be compromised. So see what I mean when I say like the toxicity and the karma, and it's like it's almost like you're an angel that fell from grace kind of scenario. So I don't know. I don't feel like your legacy is gonna live on in the way like certain legacies live. Like, like a lot of musicians are remembered to this day, like Pablo Picasso is remembered to this day. I feel like you are gonna fade into obscurity. I'm sorry. Yeah, like now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I feel like whoever this is eventually gonna fade into obscurity. And you're probably gonna lead a more like normal low-key life, which is probably what you probably wanted anyway, like if this was upright. I see you as being somebody that's kind of introspective to begin with, and it's kind of like this celebrity life caught up to you. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. This is so sad. But I mean, this is your story, this is your celebrity life. This was very interesting. I actually really enjoyed this one. But if you think this is too sad and you want to be a different kind of celebrity, feel free to pick a different pile. And let me know if you like me to do more readings like this one, because I really enjoy them and I really hope you guys enjoy them too. All right, I'll see you on the next reading. Bye bye. Welcome to your reading pile number 3. If you chose this bobblehead pen, super cute. This is your reading. I was able to fix the lighting because I'm always like stressed out about the light. I guess. Um, so for today's pick a card reading, we're gonna find out like what your celebrity life would look like if you were a celebrity. We're gonna find out like what you would be known for, what would be kind of like your legacy. We would find out what kind of things people would ask you during interviews. And then we're going to find out what kind of scandals you might be involved in. And then for our last secret card here, we're going to find out if your legacy is going to live on. So, starting off with these 3 cards at the top, you got Samaritan. I'll just show you guys. Mentor. And you also got Tracy. Emin. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry. So right off the bat, I'm getting the feeling that like this isn't a celebrity. I'm getting more this is more like an artist with activism. Just because I kind of see like this woman here. She says concentrate on finding, not losing yourself in your art. So I am already getting a lot of like artist vibes. Maybe a photographer of some sort, like a famous photographer. And I think this is somebody that really wants to help the world in some way, which I'm not saying that celebrities don't try to do that, but I feel like more often than not, it's not their main focus on life. Whereas an actual painter, photographer, artist, that's why they set out to create art to begin with. I mean, not trying to bash actors or singers or anything like that, because I know there is like political music. There's actors that only choose certain roles because they want to help the world in some way with their acting. So I don't mean to bring down any of those careers, but I'm just getting a lot of like art, just very specifically painting, photography, hands-on art. Um, Not the kind of stuff we see on TV all the time. And with mentor here, I get the feeling that this is somebody that just wants to pass on their teachings, wants to pass on their vision of what a world should be like, which is what I'm kind of getting that like you could be like an activist and you just want to use your art to convey your message. Especially getting that you could be female, like you could be a feminist, or you could just kind of like, um, or you could just kind of like want to bring certain issues in, like, out into the light and stuff, to the forefront. So even if this isn't like an artist or a photographer, this could be a YouTuber as well, because there's like a lot of YouTubers where, they talk about certain topics and they talk about how certain things, certain movies, certain tropes, blah blah blah, whatever topic they're talking about can be problematic. So it's kind of like you have like a vision and you want to teach people like a different way of looking at things. So yeah, I'm pretty set on like, I think rather than being a celebrity, you might be like some sort of artist or a YouTuber, but we'll find out more specifically as we continue the reading. So as to what you'll be known for, you got Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, um, reverse, the Sun, the girl wearing the rings, lingerie, and roses. So I'm still kind of leaning on two ideas here of what you could possibly be. On the one hand, I do feel like this is more of like an artist that wants to convey their political stance through art. With the Nine of Wands here, I see it as somebody that kind of like is taking on this burden and they're trying to fight off greed here with the Ace of Pentacles being in reverse. It's kind of like you're trying to right a wrong in this world, and it's also possible that people see you as kind of like a light of hope here. And even with the Sun being here, I also do get like YouTuber vibes, because YouTube is where we see people like this that want to, I don't want to say bring down, but address the issues in society. We mostly do that through our phones, like YouTube and stuff. So it makes sense that if people see you as a symbol of hope, the easiest way to reach you is probably like through social media. So that's why I still feel like you would probably be like a famous YouTuber. But let me continue. And as far as what you would be known for, I think you would be known for your no nonsense attitude. I think, like I said, you're kind of like a symbol of hope, and for that, you have to kind of. I know we're not here yet, but take this Queen of Swords energy here. But anyway, this is for your scandals. But I just wanted to kind of show you an example. Um, yeah, you have to take like a certain attitude. Like you can't just back down, especially if you're trying to help the world. Like you can't be beaten down. Like you have to be um a certain way, so that you'll be taken seriously and stuff. It just is what it is. It's just the nature of like political debates, or just how do I say it, backing up your claim. Does that make sense? With this card here, I see you might hide a little bit more. um you might hide a bit more than you, how do I say it, you hide stuff from your followers, that things that they don't even suspect. So I think this gives me a feeling that you're a little more awkward than most people think. Like maybe you're hiding behind not a mask, so you're just kind of like hiding yourself in some way. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure yet. But we'll see what I can find about this. I do also get that You might be really into like body positivity, um with lingerie being here. I'm getting two things here. You might be like a feminist and you're very into like body positivity. You could be really into drawing vaginas, or there's something about vagina, with the flowers, roses representing, the vagina, for example. Or there's just something about femininity here that like it just really draws you to it. So I feel like if you're a YouTuber, you might talk a lot about femininity. So you could be a YouTuber, like a famous YouTuber that likes to talk about what it means to be feminine in the modern setting, or if it's even okay to be feminine. You might be a YouTuber that is against like these stereotypes of being feminine. So he could go both ways, because I feel like both positions are valid. Um, and I don't really believe there's such a thing as like one is more right than the other. It just really depends on like what you're trying to achieve in your life. So so take that for what it's worth. Whatever it is, I just feel like there's so much emphasis on women here. Like you're just trying to help women in some way. I'm trying to see. For some of you, could even be a dating coach. I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm getting like dating coach. It's almost like you kind of want to help women who are scared in some way, women who feel disempowered, and that's where you're kind of like a symbol of hope. And then you encounter like a lot of opposition as well, because like, not everybody likes what you have to say. So especially like men, like I get the sense of like men, well, I guess straight men, let's call it that. I don't know, straight men might be very against what you say, or a particular type of man would be very against what you're saying, what you're telling these women. It's interesting. This is very like open-ended, and it does feel a little bit more serious, like there is a serious message that wants to be conveyed, and like, and it comes out of like pure intentions. With Nine of Swords being here in reverse, and the Devil in reverse, and Seven of Pentacles, this would be the stuff you would be asked in interviews. So I don't really see this as being a celebrity. So I don't really feel like you get interviewed a lot unless you're wearing like some sort of magazine that features mostly like YouTubers or influencers. So this could be kind of like, the way I kind of see it, it would be like if you had like an FAQ or something and you did a video on it or something like that. People will probably like receive you well. And the reason why I say this is because Nine of Swords in reverse is actually a good thing. Like it's signs of recovery, signs of getting better. So I think a lot of like your followers would ask you if you're doing okay, because you encounter a lot of opposition. Some people don't like what you're trying to do, or a lot of people, like some people might disagree with you, to the point that it leads to kind of like you having to make like some sort of YouTube video saying that you have to take a break from YouTube because it's too much, like toxicity is too much. So when you're back, people will probably be like, oh my God, I hope you're doing okay. Like when you recover, when you come back or whatever. Also, with the devil being in reverse, I also see this kind of like a positive meaning. So I do feel like you're well received in general. I don't really feel like in your career as a YouTuber, you have too many like serious problems. I feel like your career is overall like pretty successful, except for like maybe the haters that come up here and there. I think you're someone who is very vulnerable to begin with. Like you have no problem mm, sharing yourself to the world. So I feel like when people ask you questions, they don't ask you to get the tea. They ask you questions that they genuinely want to know. And I just perceive you as being really open and stuff. And then with Seven of Pentacles here being kind of like reaping what you sow kind of vibe here. I do see a lot of people asking you about your success so far, like asking you like what are your goals with the channel, or things like how do you get started with the YouTube channel, things like that, or just very serious questions that like basically like they're asking for your help, which is kind of like what you set out to do to begin with. So it's almost like you're fulfilling that initial goal, which is to be kind of like a mentor to your audience and provide something to your audience. Yeah, and with Seven of Pentacles, I also think of this as kind of like taking a break. So I do see that you might take a lot of breaks like as a YouTuber when dealing with toxicity or stuff like that. So it's interesting. This pile is a little bit interesting. Because I know I said this portion here to be like, what would people ask you? Like, what would your interviews about? But I just see a lot of like just openness and like people being so welcoming in your channel. Like you just have like a really good audience. I don't think you have a very toxic audience. Maybe once in a while you have somebody that like really like tests you, but not something you have to deal with constantly, if that makes sense. As far as like some scandals, I see that like okay, for some of you, you might actually be a lesbian, and I'll get to why I'm saying this, but I think some of you might be like a lesbian or part of LGBT. I don't know, but I'm mostly getting like lesbian. Like you might. I'll just say this. I'll start with this. So with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like there is somebody in your life, this woman, let's call her, that takes they want to take your your hard work, your assets. They Ten of Pentacles in general is kind of like about leaving like a legacy, achieving the material success that you deserve. So I feel like somewhere in your life, like I don't really sense that you're gonna have like scandals and that they're gonna like be on the news the way with celebrities, like you know how it is. But if I think that you're gonna be recognized well enough on like YouTube that like people are gonna know about it, like a YouTube drama thing. So you might have like a lover that like might use your success to kind of like kickstart their own career, but they're gonna like use you in a way that's not with pure intentions. And I think it's gonna leave you feeling really jaded with the Queen of Swords here. You're just kind of gonna be cruel. You're not gonna be open to love for like a long time. There's probably gonna be like a long-term partner too. And I feel like this Queen of Cups in reverse here, this is why I'm saying that you could be a lesbian. Like if you're a woman watching this video, like you could be like a lesbian, and like this is like the Queen of Cups that stole your success from you. I don't want to say success. Success is not the word. Like just maybe like your assets, or just something from you, or even if it's not like a partner, this could also be a friend. So this is kind of like a friend that most likely intentionally, I can't talk, tries to tarnish your name. Like they want to, not only did they use your success to start their own career, they kind of start talking, making like a YouTube video, like exposing you. This is what I'm getting, like somebody that's exposing you, for being something you're not. And then with the Hierophant here, I see this as being like a legal issue. I know I feel like I've said this for every single pile, but I think this one makes it like official to me that this is like a very legal issue, that you could probably like sue this person for like defamation, or for just for something legal, some like legal battle here. um it's gonna leave you feeling like really jaded, and I think that's gonna be your Nine of Swords moment, or Ten of Swords for some of you moment, where this legal issue like really like messed you up, like. So I wouldn't necessarily say you have like a lot of scandals. This is just like, this is kind of similar to pile 2, like you have one big legal issue, but I don't really feel like this legal battle is gonna like ruin your career, like, because it doesn't really feel like it's your fault unless you did something really shady that people are gonna be like, torn over and like fighting online over it. So like, I think it could cause like some controversy, but it's not necessarily like you started it. It's more like somebody exposed you or try to expose you. So that's interesting. um I feel like this is like really common with like YouTube, honestly. But honestly, I don't get the sense that like your career is gonna be ruined forever. Like, I don't know, I'm just getting like pretty positive vibes overall. All right, so now we're gonna find out if your legacy is gonna live on, and if you're gonna be like remembered. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in, you guys. Hopefully you guys can see. So you guys got the Lovers. I mean, the good news is that yes, I think your legacy is gonna live on. Like, I wouldn't say to the scale of like, like a singer or like an artist, like painter, like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like most people kind of regard YouTubers as kind of like lesser in general. So that just really comes down to society. It doesn't really have anything to do with you, like your work. But I do feel like you're gonna influence a lot of people. Like you are gonna reach a lot of people. Um, you're gonna convey your message. You know what's interesting? I see like roses here. I see something about like roses. So I feel like in this case, you're gonna reach a lot of women. You're almost like this woman savior, almost like I do feel like your channel is gonna be like successful. Oh look, this has like roses too. Interesting. Somebody should look up the meaning of rose. See if it has anything to do with this reading. But anyway, that aside, I do feel like your channel is gonna be like really successful. I think you are gonna help a lot of women out there. And seeing this man here, yeah, this could be, you could be a guy. Like, you don't even have to be a guy dating a girl. Like I said, this, like, you might be a lesbian over here. My whole point is that, like, yes, I think your legacy will live on. It won't be something like that will shake the world per se, but I do feel like you're gonna help a lot of people like you set out to do. So that's like good news. And I don't really think that this court case that happened here is gonna ruin your reputation at all. If anything, it's gonna make your influence even stronger, and you're gonna have an even bigger impact. And you are so well received in your community, in your audience, that you're just so deeply loved. So oh my god, this is the first pile where like it actually ends good. Like, the other two are kind of sad, especially pile 2, you guys. Like, fun stuff, fun celebrity life. All right, so if you found this interesting, let me know in the comments if you would like to be a different type of celebrity. Pick a different pile. And let me know if you would like more of these readings, because I actually really enjoy this. It was like so fun. But whatever you would like to do. So have a nice rest of your day, and I will see you on the next reading. Welcome to your reading, pile number 4. So if you pick this like a boss card, this is your reading. So today we're gonna find out if you were a celebrity, what type of celebrity you would be. And for today's pick a card reading, the way this is gonna work, the first couple cards are gonna be like who you are potentially. The middle row, we're gonna find out like what you're gonna be famous for. These three cards, we're gonna see like what kind of things you would get asked about during interviews. And for these set of cards here, we're gonna find out what kind of scandals you might be involved in. And finally, here with this mystery card, we're gonna find out if your legacy is gonna live on or something like that. Alrighty, so let's get started. So I'm not gonna lie to you, pal. For I just felt like when I was looking at the cards, right off the bat, I get this is like some Jerry Springer shit going on. Or like it, it's just this pile in particular gives me like a reality TV um vibes. Like I think this is somebody who became famous through like reality TV. They are known for being super loud and wild and like shocking. And I'm mostly saying this because of this card right here. Elsa Schiaparelli. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, please let me know. It says be outrageous, be shocking, be a work of art. You know, true beauty never goes out of fashion, sorry. See, you might be passionate and it's always original. So I get the sense that like no matter what, you're trying to create shock value. Um and this is a little different from pile one. I feel like pile one, if you guys are interested in knowing, pile one have very similar vibe of trying to be shocking, but as a way to kind of uplift their career and stuff. But they also kind of have like a safety blanket. I don't feel like this particular pile has like a safety blanket. And then the other reason why I feel like this is kind of like a Jerry Springer show kind of thing, or like I don't know if you guys remember the show Cheaters, or like um for those of you who are like Mexican or like Latin, Latinos, Latinx, whatever, like you guys might know like Señorita Laura, or like like those shows that expose like all these people, or like the I forget the show, something about like who's the baby daddy, like is he the baby daddy or something like that, where they actually like get the DNA of like the some guys of like some guy to see if like the baby he's the father of the baby or something like that, like that extra, like I'm not even talking like The Bachelor. I'm talking like extra. And I would even go as far as to say kind of like I don't know if you guys remember Flavors of Love. Like it's old. That's an old show, but like that's the type of vibe I'm getting here. Or I don't know, just kind of like what does my friend watch? Mob Wives or something? I don't know, just very dramatic. And here's why I think that. So you guys got Seeker, somebody who is like seeking the truth. Then you also got Rescuer, somebody who is like it's kind of like they give selflessly, but they expect the same thing in return. They don't necessarily always get that. And then like I said with this card up here, it's something about being shocking, like creating shock value. You know what I mean? And then so I feel like this is kind of who you are. You are maybe like a contestant of a show, you participated in a show or something like that. So that's not quite celebrity. We're not quite there yet. But just to continue the reading with Five of Swords in reverse. So we're gonna find a little bit of who you are here and what you're known for. I think with Five of Swords here, one of the meanings for Five of Swords is like having a some sort of reunion, um like meeting with somebody. Five of Swords in general is about betrayal. So I don't necessarily feel like you're the one who's a traitor. I think you can be a little bit sneaky. But like again, I get the sense that like you're gonna be famous for some sort of reunion where there's gonna be a lot of like fast talking, fast battling, people throwing sticks at each other almost. And then this is gonna be over somebody, some lazy ass dude or chick. Like you're gonna be fighting some people over like, I know that Eight of Wands isn't necessarily about fighting, but that's kind of how I see it. Like, you guys see how like this is reversed and it's kind of pointing at this guy here. It's almost like everybody's throwing sticks at that person, and I feel like it's over this Knight of Pentacles. And with the Knight of Pentacles being here, this tells me this is somebody who's careless. They don't care. They're immature. So this is kind of like, it just makes me think of like some sort of lazy baby daddy who is not committing committing to his duties as a father, or he doesn't want to admit that he's a father. So then you're like, I'm gonna expose you, bitch, like just try me, like you get where I'm going with this. And also like here you have bold. Some other pile got this card as well. So you're bold, like you don't care, like you're gonna smoke that cigarette and call that hoe out. Like you're gonna be like, you really wanna try me, bitch? Like you ain't got shit on me, like you ain't shit. um and then with this, I don't know if you guys can see, but this girl is kind of like, like saying shh, and just like the drama in these poses, it just really makes me think that like somebody's being sneaky. This also we're gonna see kind of like cheaters and stuff. So somebody's being sneaky and you're trying to kind of like expose them almost. And with roots, I'm getting here like you're trying to get to the root of the problem. And I feel like because of your like overgiving nature, you find yourself in situations where like you like where you once had so much love for this person, now you just hate them and you want to expose them, and you're like, you're not gonna have it any other way. But you're also smart because you're trying to do it to be famous, like because you kind of have this attitude where like you don't care, you're gonna do what you want, like watch me like expose this bitch over here. And see, like I'm having so much fun with this pile, you guys. Like this is just like the best. Like this is like some trash TV shit going on, okay? um and then as far as like what you would get asked about, or more like what would actually happen in your episode, I feel like this is what would happen in your episode. um I'm seeing here like this is a lot about conflict. Usually Six of Swords upright is like upright, it would be like fixing your problems, getting it together. But this is in reverse. This is telling me there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of aggression, there's a lot of problems, like and then I'm getting here like you just want to be a star, like you just really want to stand out, like you want to make sure that no matter what other bitch you're fighting, like you're gonna be the star. This kind of makes me think of Cardi B's "What Was the Reason?" What was the reason? Like that, like that sort of vibe there. And like with the chariot here, I also kind of getting like a lot of frustration because things aren't getting resolved and stuff. So I used to just see like so much fighting and like so much sneakiness, and like just moving on to the next thing. Like I know I'm moving kind of quickly for this pile, but I feel like that's how quickly this episode is, this career is going to be. Not gonna lie to you guys, this feels like a very fast career. I see the Queen of Cups in reverse. I don't know, this kind of gives me like infidelity vibes. Same thing with the Two of Pentacles here, this man here being kind of sneaky and stuff, like sneaking around. And there's also the Devil card. Like this is like excess of anything, excess of like sex, like um vices, anything. So yeah, there's a lot of like devil energy here. And this could also be like wanting to be so successful that you'll do anything for it. So it's like that, like whatever people think of you isn't your problem. Like you're trying to get famous at any cost. I also see Two of Swords in reverse here, so this just gives me more like infidelity vibes. Like, I mean, it's just I just see like a bunch of men like sneaking around and stuff. Like that's kind of how I perceive it. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but in this card, the Two of Pentacles, there's this star right there. So it's like you want to get famous over exposing your ex who was sneaking around with other men or women, depending on like what you're into. And it's just so hilarious. I don't know why. I don't know if you're well received per se. I feel like you aren't, especially in the beginning. I don't know, because with the star being upright, I do get that you are well received. Like, damn, like she's hilarious. Like, she really did steal the show. But on the other hand, like, people know that you're like sneaky and like everybody knows that you're doing it to get famous, kind of deal. Like, so it's kind of like mixed. Oh, maybe that's what it is. You're definitely a mixed bag. Like, you have very mixed people. Sorry, you give people very mixed feelings. See what I'm saying? So I'm like, that seems pretty accurate. Okay, I'm trying to think of anything else that I can see because this was a little too fast. I was like, whoa, I'm so shook. This energy just came in and then went. Like it's crazy. Okay, so I'll just move on to the next thing. So I'm gonna see. So we're gonna find out if your legacy lives on for this pile, just because this is kind of interesting. Like I actually do want to know like if the legacy for this pile is gonna live on. Okay, so here's our mystery card, and we're gonna flip it over. Four Swords in reverse. Let me zoom that in, you guys. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that, but here's what I'm seeing. I kind of suspected it. No, I don't think your legacy is gonna last very long. Definitely not like a legend in any way. Like, I think you might be iconic in some ways. Like, you might become like a meme. And I don't know if you see like this character looks kind of faded and distant. It's almost like people kind of remember you as, oh, like, remember that one person on that TV show? Like, yeah, she was extra. Yeah, he was wild. Like, he had no chill. She was crazy, like, or you're gonna be like a meme. But eventually I feel like you're gonna be kind of like forgotten. And with Four Swords being in reverse, I feel like your career is gonna become stagnant and you're just not really gonna further your career. It's just kind of gonna be like this thing that happened. You were funny, became a meme for a while. Like maybe you'll be remembered through memes and stuff, but it's not like a long lasting legacy where you're like remember for something like for like some sort of achievement. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, that trash TV guest or something like that. But the good news is I don't see like your reputation or your well-being tarnished in any way. I think you are going to live a pretty safe and secure life. I don't really think you're going to like your way of being isn't going to be like compromised in any way. Like you're just kind of going to live the rest of your life like a normal person. I mean, I kind of like this. This is a little bit neutral. It's not like a good thing or a bad thing. It's just kind of like it is what it is. Like you had your moment of fame and now you kind of gotta live like the rest of us. Like so that's kind of fun. I mean, but I guess it could be kind of sad because, we have people kind of like I think Cardi B, she started like doing these kinds of shows and she's like super famous now, but sadly it doesn't work that way for everybody. But this gives me very like New York from Flavors of Love vibes here. And I mean, I think she's still pretty like iconic and funny, but she's not Cardi B. Like, you know what I mean? So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reading. That's all I got for you guys. If you want to be a different kind of celebrity, pick a different pile, or let me know down in the comments what you think, and like whatever you got from this reading, let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you on my next reading. Bye bye.